Good morning, everyone. This is Jen from ScanNCut Jam Sessions and ScanNCut Canvas and Scout Help on Facebook. I have a full leather hide and I want to do some embossing on it. Well, maybe you've seen my other embossing videos, but since we have the new pen tool, time for a new one. So here I have the entire embossing thing, and let me pull one out here. Nope. Maybe if I had done this a little ahead of time, huh? Okay. So here we have these things. And these, you can look on eBay. They're called nail tools. I guess when y'all go get your fancy nails done, as you can see, I don't do that. They use these somehow. For what? I don't know. Maybe cleaning out from under your nails or something. But you can buy them in sets, and they have different sized tips. So the nibs will be a little bit different sized. So this one, turn some light on here. Make sure this camera is focused. Okay, you see this one is a little bit different size than this one. This one's larger, this one's smaller. So they're all a little bit different size. Let me see if I can find some full ones. Nope, those are all busted. Okay. So what you can do is you can make it to fit inside this pen tool. And what I did was, pull. You need to be careful because you don't want to pull the guts out of your universal pen tool. But I took and I wrapped a piece of paper towel around it. So that will allow it to give a little bit and allow that pen, a universal pen tool, to really grab on there, because I'm going to need a good grab, because as this is going across the leather, I'm going to need some firm pressure. Alright? And any of you that have embossed leather know what I'm talking about. Alright, but to set this up, when we go to set this depth up, let me move this. I'm like doing 10 things at once here. Also printing off calendars. Okay, I'll try to get you in here to see this. Alright, so we'll try this piece. When I go to set my depth, I want to actually include the leather piece. Okay? And that will tell me how deep to set it. So I push this little doohickey down there. I need 10 hands to do this. So I just kind of firmly push it down there. Okay. And bring this over here. Hopefully you can. I don't know if you will be able to see this. I'm trying. Okay. But that is under there and my nib is set right down upon it. Okay? So that's how you want to go about setting the depth. And always make sure that your material for the ScanNCut 2, it is published on their website. 2 millimeters is the thickness, and that is what this piece of leather is. But before I go sticking any of this in here, I'm going to cut the size of piece that I need. I'm going to put it on my mat, and then I'm going to see if it's going to be okay before I go trying to do anything. It's always better to be safe than sorry. We don't want to damage our machines. It did say in the on the first version, the ScanNCut one, that 1.5 millimeters, oops, is the thickest you should go, but it does say on the ScanNCut 2, 2 millimeters. Okay? Alright, so let me get this all set up. Okay, I'm going to make this one up and I'll show you how I wrap the paper towel. As you see, it's nothing fancy. I'll trim it off a bit. You don't want it too thick, because like I said, you don't want to rip the guts out of that thing. It's the last thing you want to do. It's taking you forever to get it. You don't want to go destroying it. Okay, so I hold it really, really, really tight because you want a nice tight wrap. Okay, so hold it tight and then roll. That is not a loose roll at all. It's a nice tight roll. Okay. Then I just take regular old packing tape. Cut a decent sized piece. And again, put it on there, grab the end, and roll as tight as you can. What's good about this is when you trim it, because it may be too fat, when you trim it, you just lay your scissors right alongside and you snip. And then you just go back over it with another tiny piece of tape. Okay, let me grab just a small piece of tape to tape that end. Oh, hang on. Okay. And always wrap as tight as you can. Need something to hang on to. There we go. Okay. So now this is probably going to be too thick initially. And that's okay. Nope, it looks like it's going to fit. Alright, good. So stick it in there and take it down about that far. I'll bring my leather up. This thing is mammoth. And we're talking about the whole skin of a cow. Okay. So we're going to stick this in here and get it away from the curled edges, because you don't want the curled edges making your decision for you. Okay, there we go. Got that set. And hopefully that was in camera. I'm going to just take it a smidge deeper. Now, remember, you got to pull up on this gray thing, and you got to turn it. Okay? And that's locking it in really good. So to test it, push like you're writing with it, and that's a really good set right there. Okay, so now I'm ready. I gotta wet my leather. Actually, I need to cut it first. I'm gonna cut my leather, and then I'm gonna wet it down so that it takes an emboss, and hopefully this leather will actually take an emboss. I mean, it should. It looks like it's gonna be a nice embossable leather, and we'll be back. Okay, so here we are in Scal. So there's my file, but make sure that you come over here, since you're using the pen tool or the universal pen thing, and put your cut line to a draw. Okay, I sent mine over using my USB cord because I'm going to be doing this on the ScanNCut too. Okay, so there's my file up on the screen. Let me turn down my radio. And what I'm going to do is I made the file a little different because I'm actually going to use my tools and do by hand to fill it in. So there's my little thingamabobber. Let's come up here and let's do some adjusting. Let's come into our settings. I'm going to take my draw pressure up. I'm going to take it up to about a 5. Click OK. Okay, and we know that's blue, so that's a draw. Click draw and click start. And let it go there. Yep, I think we have some success. But I want to do some shading with my leather tools. So I created a thicker kind of offset line to do some highlighting of the bird. Man, that looks really good. So hopefully it will stay like that. Trying to get you in a little bit better. As you see, I use duct tape to hold it down on the mat because I do wet my leather so that it will take and emboss, especially this type of leather. That's looking pretty good. Let's see what we've got there. Oh crap, now of course it's in the wrong light. Hang on, we're going for a ride here. Yay, I would say that looks like it's doing it. Yeah, and you see I created a line because I want to do some highlighting of this thing. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I may go over this a couple times just to make sure it's deep enough. But I set it, I set the pressure. I may actually go in and increase the pressure a little bit more. But don't eject it, just come back, come in here. Take my draw pressure up even more, and we'll do it again. Just make sure you watch your machine, watch your pen tool. Make sure they're not under any stress because you don't want to break anything. Make sure your leather is not moving, and it's not. Everything looks so good so far, or so far so good. Alright, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, and here I've switched it to a definitely embossable piece of leather, and it's looking really, really good. So I'm going to actually go over this a couple times just to make it look really nice. And I'll show you the results when it's finished. Okay, here it is. I'm going to try to, bear with me here. I'm going to try to show you the actual depth. There, you can start to see it. Okay, I know it looks crazy right now, but like I said, I'm going in and I'm going to actually tool this part of it. What I did is when I created this in scale, I did the original and then I added some shadow lines in there because that's what I want to do. I want to make this look like it's got shadows. But this is what you get when you use my embossing tool in the pen, a universal pen holder. There is, let me pull this up. This leather sticks really well to this, almost too well, so I'll have to give that a good cleaning just with the baby butt wipes. But let me see how close I can get this. See, look at that. That is nice depth in there. Okay, and I did use two different sizes. I think I would stick with just the one, depending on the look that you want. I used this small headed one. I didn't like the way the big one does. The big one just kind of smooshes it all around, but that's okay because like I said, with this look, I'm actually going to go in and add some tooling to this, so actually add some more decoration. So right now it kind of looks like a hot mess, and that's okay because this is just the outline, and then I have to go in and add things to it. This isn't a skip, it isn't a miss one. This is actually designed to look this way. It's how I had it made in scale. So you'll get the original. That'll be all marked in with the different tools that I have, and then the outline will remain just that, just a plain outline. Alright, but it does work. It works wonderfully. There is a definite outline. The other piece of leather that I have is still drying, and it still does show a clear outline. So both of them did work, but this one is definitely better. Because of course it's a thicker leather, and anytime you do leather tooling, you know you need a thicker piece of leather to get it to actually look right. So I'm going to also trim off the edges and apply this to the leather binder that I'm making. Alright guys, if you have any questions on anything, find me over at Scan and Cut, Canvas, and Scal Help on Facebook. That is where you can find me 24/7, and I am reachable for questions, okay? Thanks.